It's Wednesday, June 22nd, 2016, and this is your Hump Day Coffee Break. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rob Adams, filling in for Kate Chaplinsky. Beck said hello to Kate last night as she's doing well on vacation. Donald Eng right alongside of me. He will have history and sports filling in for me as we roll through this Wednesday together. We have headlines from around the region and lots to do on a beautifully sunny day, at least as right now, but we'll check in on the weather in a little bit. 79 degrees here in Shelton as we get things started on this Wednesday morning. But first to the headlines. Ridgefield town and school officials are retesting for lead in water at two Ridgefield elementary schools after earlier tests showed levels slightly above the state limits in the water at two locations. A water fountain in the gym at Scotland School and a sink in a gym bathroom at Barlow Mountain School. Ridgefield First Selectman Rudy Marconi said the lead levels are called actionable, which means take a look at it. That's a quote. But the lead levels are below danger levels, he said. Water samples were taken from four schools on aquarium water lines. Samples from East Ridge Middle School and Veterans Park Elementary Schools showed lead levels below the state limits, but the sites at Scotland Elementary School and Barlow Mountain Elementary School showed the levels a little above the state limits. Superintendent of Schools Karen Baldwin said the second round of testing was being undertaken to better understand what action, if any, might be necessary, in a quote. The test samples were taken by a high school intern working together with a sanitarian from the health department. Said Marconi, quote, "We're going to retest everything." You can read more about this story at theridgefieldpress.com. A new Fairfield man is under arrest after state police say he was selling illegal firearms out of his home, according to a press release. The arrest came after a month-long investigation uncovered that Michael Giannone was machining and assembling illegal AR-15 style assault rifles out of his Merlin Avenue home. Police arrested Giannone after he was seen dropping off his child at school while police knew he was in possession of one of the rifles. A search seizure warrant was executed at his home where police recovered 59 complete firearms. 9 of those firearms were considered illegal. Police also recovered more than 10,000 rounds of ammunition, 3 illegal silencers, and 65 illegal high-capacity magazines. Giannone was held on a $100,000 bond and was due in court on Tuesday. 12 men are facing prostitution-related charges after their arrest by Stratford and Bridgeport police in a joint sting operation. The Stratford Police Narcotics Vice and Intelligence Unit and the Bridgeport Police Tactical Narcotics Team executed the joint sting operation this past weekend at Quality Inn on South Avenue in Stratford. 3 of the arrested are from Bridgeport, while a Stratford and Trumbull man were also arrested. Others are from New Haven, Lebanon, West Haven, and Long Island, New York. The men ranged in age from 23 to 49. Stratford police said the operation is the result of complaints received concerning prostitution and human trafficking at area hotels. A Monroe man's car left a trail 4 towns long on Saturday morning, the Wilton police told our Wilton Bulletin yesterday. At about 2:30 a.m. on Saturday, police spotted a car driving up Route 7 with one of its rims rolling directly on the pavement. According to police, the car had 3 tires but was missing the front driver's side tire. The driver, 42-year-old Richard Canone of Monroe, had a blood alcohol level nearly 3 times the legal limit, according to police. They also found loose prescription pills in his pocket. After charging the man with DUI, reckless driving, unsafe tires, and failure to keep drugs in the original container, the police learned how far Canone drove on just 3 tires. New Canaan police were investigating a hit and run with a limousine that happened earlier on Saturday. New Canaan police followed the marks left on the pavement by the car's rim from New Canaan through Lewisboro, New York, into Ridgefield, and then to Route 7 in Wilton, where Canone was pulled over, according to police. Wilton police then added a misdemeanor summons for evading responsibility, quote, along with other motor vehicle charges. Fairfield police are asking for your help in finding a young woman suspected of stealing a wallet in Southport earlier this month. Police yesterday released these images of the suspect taken from a surveillance camera when credit cards from the stolen wallet were used. Police say the woman, described in her 20s with brown hair, used the credit cards at numerous businesses in the Park Avenue and State Street area of Bridgeport. The wallet was reported stolen from a car parked in the 300 block of Pequot Avenue in Southport. It's possible the suspect works in the Southport area and commutes via a Greater Bridgeport transit bus. If anyone has any information as to the identity of the suspect, please contact Detective Lisa Bergby at 203-254-4840 or LBURBIGE at fairfieldct.org. An anonymous text-a-tip can also be sent by texting FPD to 274637. That's crimes along with your tip information. In state politics news, Stamford businessman August Wolf has suspended his bid for the U.S. Senate after failing to get enough signatures to challenge State Rep Dan Carter of Bethel for the Republican nomination to challenge Connecticut's senior U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal. Carter beat out Wolf for the party's endorsement at the state Republican convention last month. While Wolf had been campaigning for the nomination for a year, he was dismayed when Carter announced his run just a month before the convention and beat him. Said Wolf in a statement released yesterday, quote, "After 12 months of campaigning, an insider-rigged convention denied us primary ballot access, so we made a decision to petition. Sadly, we learned this week that our effort fell short, and despite the efforts and encouragement of many, we are now forced to suspend the campaign." Wolf endorsed Carter for the seat, calling him, quote, "someone Connecticut can be proud of," end quote. He went on to say that Blumenthal has ruined this state, in a quote, and he will support Carter's efforts to send Blumenthal home. Earlier this month, Wolf's former staffer, Samantha Main, filed a sexual harassment lawsuit against him. She alleged Wolf made sexual comments towards her that were severe and pervasive. A look now at your midweek weather. Mostly sunny with a high near 83 and a light and variable wind becoming 8 to 13 in the afternoon. Not too bad, though. Partly cloudy tonight and a low around 56. Now we've got a 50% chance of showers, mainly in the later morning tomorrow. Mostly cloudy and 72 for the high otherwise. Thursday night mostly cloudy, but it'll clear up, a low around 58. Friday, sunny and 80, beautiful day. Friday night, more of the same, mostly clear, low around 60. Sunny and 82 for Saturday, sunny and 84 for Sunday, sunny and 83 for Monday, and Tuesday, mostly cloudy. Okay, we were doing okay there. A high near 82. Darien is at 77, Milford at 79, and right here in Shelton, 79 degrees. Don has history, Don has sports. We have more news. We continue with your coffee break right after this on the HAN Network.
Connecticut is coming back to hometown banking, to a partner that makes small businesses feel big, where community comes first, where you get the know-how only neighbors can deliver, where saving time is important too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well, bank smart, bank local, bank well. With the 24-month Bank Well Smart CD, you can earn 1.35% APY and raise your rate and add to your CD.
Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Keep your future star active and happy this summer at Future Stars Sports Academy camps and clinics. The Academy is offering sessions throughout Fairfield County. Sign up for a week of basketball, cheerleading, football, or a multi-sports camp. At Future Stars Academy, children learn the fundamentals while under the supervision of qualified coaches. And what sets the Academy apart is its special Lessons of Life sessions, teaching values and focusing on building self-esteem, friendships, and honesty. Located at Sports Center, Connecticut in Shelton and in Sports in Trumbull. Register online at futurestarssportsacademy.com.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 1 million people have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment programming since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Rob Adams, in for Kate Chaplinsky. Kate with the week off. She's back with us on Monday. But now, not throwing it this way. I'm throwing it this way. I'm throwing it to history with my friend Donald Eng. Don, it's history time. You're here. You're live. It's a beautiful thing.
It is, and it's even more beautiful because we have a little sports in the history segment today, and I'm a bit curious to get a broadcaster's reaction to a legendary broadcast. You know, can divine intervention get upstaged? Well, it actually happened 30 years ago today. First, though, we're going to go to 1633. The Holy Office in Rome forces Galileo to recant his view that the Earth orbits the Sun. Now, no one was more surprised in this controversy than Galileo himself, since heliocentrism was not new. Copernicus had written about it 100 years earlier. The Islamic world had discovered it as far back as the 10th century. Pope Gregory had used it as the basis for the Gregorian calendar that we still use. But there was this thing called the Inquisition, and folks got much more sensitive to perceived blasphemy. According to legend, as Galileo signed the papers affirming that the Earth is stationary at the center of the universe, he muttered the phrase, "Eppur si muove," and yet it does move. To 1807, the British warship HMS Leopard attacks and boards the American ship USS Chesapeake. During the Napoleonic Wars, British ships had blockaded French vessels in Chesapeake Bay, and a Londoner named Jenkin Radford had signed on the crew of the Chesapeake. Now, he'd made himself conspicuous to British officers by yelling at them on the streets of Norfolk, Virginia. Leopard approached Chesapeake at sea, demanded to search the ship. Commodore John Barron refused, and Leopard fired several broadsides, killing 3 crewmen and injuring 18. The British then seized 4 crewmen off the Chesapeake, including Radford, who they hung for desertion. Britain returned the 3 American citizens 5 years later, though it never disavowed the practice of pressing sailors off American ships on the high seas. The event was one of the major causes of the War of 1812. To 1941, Nazi Germany invades the Soviet Union in Operation Barbarossa. 3.8 million Germans, Hungarians, Romanians, Slovakians, and Finns joined in the attack. 800,000 would become casualties. For the Soviets, it was much worse. 4 million casualties, including 2.3 million still officially listed missing in action. Now, in the U.S., we don't really think much about the Eastern Front of World War I, but the Western Allies did not land in strength on the continent until June of 1944. It seems unbelievable, but it's true. 9 out of every 10 German casualties in World War II inflicted by the Soviets. And finally, now we go to 1986, just minutes after another legendary event, the Hand of God. There was this.
Ahí lo tiene Maradona, lo marcan 2, pisa la pelota Maradona, arranca por la derecha el genio del fútbol mundial, y es el tercero a tocar para Borruchaga, siempre Maradona, genio, ¡y gol!
Yes, just minutes after his famous Hand of God goal, Argentinian football player Diego Maradona scores the goal of the century at the 1986 World Cup. Argentina would go on to win the game 2-1 and win the World Cup. And if you don't happen to speak Spanish, the call by Uruguayan journalist Victor Morales is priceless, including phrases, "I want to cry," "Holy God," "Long live football," "What a goal." And then Maradona, the best play of all time, also calling Maradona the cosmic comet. Which planet did you come from? Leaving so many English behind, the country becomes a clenched fist crying for Argentina. Well, that is your look back in sports for today, June 22nd, and I'm Donald Ting. I'm laughing to myself. I just love Spanish language football calls. I can't help it. Have you ever been that exuberant on a soccer goal?
You know, it's not quite in a year that has been so improbable. The impossible has happened. That's one of my favorites, but that's a pretty solid goal. Have I ever been that excited? I've been excited. I don't know that I've ever been that. I tend to be a one word in a big spot like that. There was a call I did in Greenwich years ago. All I said was insanity. And that one kind of lived a little bit.
Well, there was quite a few more words than that in the Morales' call.
Quite a bit. But those, soccer announcers tend to Gus Johnson a bit, shall we say? That's a nice way to put it.
I was laughing at that because I'm thinking about how Gus Johnson would describe Diego Maradona's speed, but we won't get into that.
That's why Fox tried, but nonetheless, more stuff we can talk about on Nutmeg Sports, which hopefully you'll be along for it too. Hopefully Dave Stewart as well.
I'm hoping for Dave, but we'll see what happens.
All right, Don, thank you very much. A little more news now on your Wednesday morning. France-based Altice has bought Cablevision Systems, the dominant cable provider in Lower Fairfield County and the New York metropolitan area. Altice announced last September its plans to acquire a majority stake in Cablevision, whose properties include the News 12 Connecticut studio in Norwalk. Said Dexter Goey, CEO of Altice USA, our immediate focus is on integrating our businesses with Altice, fostering their development through innovation and investment, and delivering on our plans to enhance the customer experience. Our very talented employees have great energy and enthusiasm, and we are confident that altogether we will help to build Altice USA to the benefit of our customers and the local communities that we serve. Cablevision has the fourth largest cable market share in the U.S. after Comcast, Charter Communications, and Cox Communications. Trumbull police have arrested a man wanted for attempted armed robbery at a Westfield Trumbull Mall jewelry store back in April. Police say that the man, 28-year-old Christopher Alston of Waterbury, confessed to the attempted robbery after he was arrested on another charge by Shelton police in late May. Back in April, according to police, Alston entered the jewelry store, The Icing, around 6 p.m. before approaching a female employee at the cash register. The witness told police that the suspect had lifted up his blue hooded sweatshirt to show her the butt of a gun that was being held in his waistband. The report said that Alston told the 25-year-old employee to open the register, and that's when she panicked and began to cry. According to the report, Alston insisted on calming the rattled female worker by telling her he wasn't going to hurt her before he left the store. Trumbull police obtained a warrant for Alston on May 31st after he confessed to Shelton police about committing the attempted robbery as well as another robbery at a Walmart in Derby that same day. He was subsequently picked up by Shelton police again on Tuesday, June 14th, and the warrant was served. He was transported to Trumbull Police Headquarters, where he told police that he was carrying a BB gun, not an actual firearm, when he tried to steal from the register at The Icing. On June 14th, Alston was charged with breach of peace in the second degree and a criminal attempt to robbery in the first degree. He was released on a $5,000 warrant and was set to appear in court Tuesday, June 21st. Now we go back to Don, because Don has sports. Don, part 2.
Don Redux.
Exactly.
We start with American Legion baseball. In the 19 and under circuit, Danny Keckler retired all 11 batters he faced. Trumbull beat Westport by a score of 15-5. That in Zone 4 action on Tuesday. Westport scored 5 goals in the top of the first. Trumbull put up 4 in the third, 6 in the fourth, 4 in the fifth, and then 1 more in the sixth for good measure. Dustin Sequeira had 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. Jack Lynch, 2 hits, including an RBI double. Norwalk beat Ridgefield 15-0. Darien New Canaan 3-2 over Wilton. Stamford beat Fairfield 7-0. On the 17 and under circuit, Greenwich 15-0 over Bridgeport. Stamford 12-0 over Fairfield. Darien 17, New Canaan 10. On the schedule for today, we have Norwalk at Ridgefield, Greenwich at Bridgeport, the Darien New Canaan team at Wilton, Stamford at Fairfield, Trumbull, Westport at Staples, Bridgeport at Greenwich, that game at Havermeyer Field, and Wilton at Darien, New Canaan. Those last two games are on the 17 and under tour. The Danbury Westerners fell to the Ocean State Waves 6-3 last night in Rhode Island. Nick Greenwood homered in the loss. The Westerners dropped to 6-5 on the year in collegiate wooden bat action. They play North Adams tonight at Rogers Park in Danbury. In the Atlantic League, the Bluefish climbed back into the win column with a 6-1 win at home over the Lancaster Barnstormers. Blake Beavan went 6 innings, allowing 1 run, striking out 7. That's his 3rd win of the year. That series continues tonight back at the ballpark at Harbor Yard. And the Somerset Patriots scored 7 runs in the 7th to run away to a 10-2 victory over the New Britain Bees last night in New Britain. Carlos Guzman got his 6th home run of the season in the win. They close out the series tonight. Over to the affiliate minor league baseball, the Vermont Lake Monsters put up 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th to put away the Connecticut Tigers 5-1 in Burlington last night. 2 runs scored on errors, 1 on a wild pitch, another on a bases-loaded walk. The Brooklyn Cyclones come to Dodd Stadium beginning tonight. And the Road Warriors, known as the Hartford Yard Goats, were thrashed by the Richmond Flying Squirrels 11-3. That game, a Yard Goat home game, was played in Manchester, New Hampshire. The Squirrels pounded out 19 hits, and the Goats committed 2 errors, leading to 5 unearned runs. And finally, the Stratford Brickheads get back into action tomorrow night against the Stratford Seahawks. That game at DeLuca Hall of Fame Field down in Stratford. As you look back, I was starting to say that's your look back in sports, but actually no, it is your look back in sports. We're also looking ahead in sports. That's your look at sports.
It's a look back, it's into the present, and it's into the future. I mean, you're omnipotent, Don.
It's a look in the general direction of sports.
Sounds good. All right. Again, hopefully see you for Nutmeg Sports at 2 today. Thank you very much, Don. We'll take a break on your coffee break. We'll come back. We have more headlines before we wrap up your Wednesday edition right after this on the HAN Network.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. New Canaan is 6 minutes down the road. New Canaan's a beautiful little town to walk around. I work in Westport. My commute is 20 minutes. It's close to Westchester where my family is, so the location is ideal. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the water. There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, the Dock Shop is where you'll find everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place to shop. DockShop.com.
What's happening up in Hartford and what's trending in the Nutmeg State?
Join Kate Chaplinski
And Josh Fisher
on CT Pulse live Wednesdays at 12:30 to find out.
We talk to the leaders and newsmakers while breaking down the stories you should be paying attention to each week.
With the help of HAN's editorial cartoonist Doug Smith, we take a humorous look at the news of the week. We talk about everything you were told you should avoid bringing up in polite company.
CT Pulse, Wednesdays at 12:30 on the HAN Network.
Hi, I'm Rob Adams with my good friend Donald Eng, and we're the home team for Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 o'clock right here on the HAN Network. We are the place for all things Connecticut sports, so come hang out with us on Nutmeg Sports. Don? They don't call him the best color man in the game for nothing. Nutmeg Sports, 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday right here on the HAN Network. See, and Don and I didn't even have to get changed to come right out of that commercial back live. It's still one of my favorite commercials. Back with you on your coffee break on this Wednesday morning. Kate Chaplinski with the week off. I'm Rob Adams. So glad you decided to join us here. Now, don't forget that CT Pulse will be a repeat today. Josh and Kate both with today off, but they will be back live and in person next week right here on the HAN Network. So make sure you watch CT Pulse repeat later today at 12:30 on the HAN network. More news now. Joan D. Enzer, a lifelong resident of Reading, a journalist and activist who founded the Reading Land Trust, which helped shape what the town of Reading in the second half of the 20th century became, has died at 103 years old, according to her family. Of all the causes Joan championed and the many boards and commissions of which she was a hard-working member, none was more important to her than the Land Trust, her family said. She was involved with it from its beginning in 1965. Her older brother, Benton Deming, was its first president, and she herself was president from 1977 to 87. She remained on its board of directors for years after that. Marianne Guitar, a former Reading First Selectman and current Reading Land Trust president, said, quote, "Joan lived the life she wanted in a town she loved. Her example will live on in the significant contributions she made to the Land Trust." Joan was Reading's reporter to the Danbury News-Times for many years. Her articles also appeared in the Newtown Bee, the Bridgeport Post, and the Norwalk Hour. To the Reading Pilot, she contributed a series of articles called On the Town, which tell of early 20th century life in Reading as she experienced it. Later, she collected the columns into a 2-volume chapter book, On the Town, Growing Up in Long Ago Reading, and On the Town some years later in Long Ago Reading, both still in print. She and John Mitchell were co-authors of the original Book of Trails, the Land Trust's guide to its network of public trails, which is in its 4th edition. You can read a whole lot more on the life of Joan Enzer at thereadingpilot.com. Longtime Darien resident Gene Coyle, a retired Marine who served during both World War II and the Korean War and worked at Time magazine for more than 5 decades, retiring as Worldwide Director of Operations, died Monday morning after a several-month illness. A longtime member of Darien's representative town meeting, Gene's commitment to the Darien community was legendary, according to several town officials. For more than 30 years, Gene helped raise money for wounded veterans through the Marine Corps League. He also worked as a Justice of the Peace and served as a member of the Republican Town Committee and former president of the Republican Club of Darien. There's a wonderful picture of Gene Coyle, his wife, and Terrence Cardinal Cook online at DarienTimes.com. 13-year-old Tracy Lewis of Ridgefield is appearing in a lead role in the off-Broadway play What She Deserves, a Murder Mystery, at the Actors Temple on West 47th Street on Sunday, June 26th at 2:30 and 5 p.m. The show is a comedy murder mystery set in an English manor during the 1920s. Tracy has been acting since she was 9 and most recently appeared in the independent film 39 and a Half and The Haunting of Kesha on LMN. For more on this and how to get tickets, visit arts.hersamacorn.com. And finally today, Greenwich High School held its graduation for the class of 2016 on Tuesday evening with 635 students receiving their diplomas. Thanks to HAN Network intern Andrew Mitchell for the video from the ceremony. Emily Berzola made the valedictory speech, the memory of 2 classmates who would have graduated, Bart Pelosi, who committed suicide in 2013, and Emily Fedorko, who died in a boating accident in 2014, were honored by GHS Class President Joseph Peters. That capped graduation season in our Connecticut coverage area. Let's take a look back at the moments from many of the graduations in the HAN Network's coverage area. congratulations to all the graduates. Great work by Eric Gendron, who was throwing that together this morning. Andrew Mitchell as well. Thanks so much to him for doing what he did with the video. A quick breaking note just coming across. Thanks to John Kovach for this. Connecticut delegation leading congressman in occupying the House floor to seek a gun control vote. That's all we have at the moment. That will certainly develop. Follow it online via our HAN Network Twitter feeds, as well as HAN Network CT. Follow that story online, and we'll have more as it becomes available. A final look at the forecast for you. A mostly sunny day, just beautiful. High near 83. The wind will climb to 8 to 13 in the afternoon. Partly cloudy and 56 for tonight, with a 50% chance of showers later tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy and 72. And Thursday night, mostly cloudy, gradually becoming clear. Low 58 for the weekend. We're in the low 80s and pretty much sunny all the way through until Tuesday. Darien, you're up to 78. Milford's sitting at 79, and right here at Shelton, 80 degrees. Again, CT Pulse at 12:30. With Josh and Kate off, we'll have a special rebroadcast for you. Maybe Don, but certainly myself and Dave Stewart along for Nutmeg Sports at 2. Thanks for watching Nutmeg Sports thanks for watching Coffee Break. Watch Nutmeg Sports later on. Thanks for watching Coffee Break. For Eric Gendron, Donald Eng, I'm Rob Adams. So long.